What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris with the next set from the Premier League Season 4. I am up to date on this tournament, and it feels so good because we're going to be casting these games as soon as they come out, or rather, on the same day as they come out. So by the end of this day, then I would have this on YouTube, and that is amazing because that means there's no delay, and that means whoever is looking for coverage of TPL4, you know, I'm just saying, my channel's up to date. I've casted 100% of the games. Why even bother going to the official site or the official casters when you could have me, right? Okay, but enough about that. We're going to be watching Virtus Pro on the Radiance go up against paiN Gaming on the Dire. paiN, I believe, have yet to win a set, unfortunately for them, and Virtus Pro have won all of their sets. So paiN Gaming, they have quite the challenge ahead of them. From what I've seen from paiN, it looks like they're pretty solid, although I don't know, they kind of make questionable decisions. They get caught off a whole lot, and you know, when things go well for them, then it goes very well, but when things go poorly, then it goes very poorly. So we'll see if that consistency issue is a problem here, and I believe it should be, just because VP, they usually play at the same caliber all the time. They are always bringing their A game, or at least it seems like. There's rarely a time where VP just get completely stomped. They always make a very strong showing, and with a lineup such as the lineup they have, it's kind of understandable as to why. We have a couple of weird names here for VP. I'm not sure who these guys are, if they're, if they're supposed to be the real players, or if they're stand-ins, or if VP has undergone some huge change. I was actually looking at the Wikipedia for Dota 2. They actually have that, yeah. And turns out Sharfik and Serva got kicked from 3D Clan in favor of, I want to say, two Russian players that start with S. It was like Sidoy and Stalyan or something like that. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but we'll see next time the 3D Clan plays in this tournament, and then we'll hopefully see some new faces, because new people is always fun, just like new heroes. But enough about all of that. Let's go over what is being picked up so far. VP prioritizing that Nyx Assassin as their first pick, as well as Nature's Prophet plus Gyrocopter. And Nyx Assassin, well, there's actually a clip on Talk Dota when it was Kuroki talking about how Nyx Assassin was not really a Dota hero because his E is just a get out of jail free card. And, well, depending on how you want to take that statement, you could draw your own conclusion, but the ultimate point that he was trying to make is that Nyx Assassin is amazingly versatile, and he's just so easy to use. So that is, of course, why we see him banned or played in pretty much every single game nowadays. paiN can respond to these three picks with the Batrider, Keeper of the Light, as well as the Phantom Lancer, so kind of a similar lineup, mirroring VP's picks. They are going to have that very strong Keeper of the Light, Phantom Lancer lane, and, well, against the Nyx Assassin, if that does happen, then the Spike Carapace is going to be a pain in the ass for Keeper of the Light, because every time he unleashes that Illuminate, then he's going to get some punishment right back. Other than that, they're going to have a decent amount of lane control, good nuking power, and then Batrider should win his lane. It's fairly uncommon for Batrider to outright lose his lane, unless there's a lot of pressure from VP through moving their heroes around. As such, VP are going to have banned out from them the Bane Elemental as well as the Silencer. I believe it was VP, or was it Empire who used the... I think it was Empire, actually, who used the Silencer very heavily. But they're still looking for a couple more support heroes. Gyrocopter and Nyx can be played as support, and I want to say that Nyx is going to be played as support. But VP do have a lot of lane flexibility. That's why Rubik is also going to be banned out. It looks like paiN seem to think that Nyx Assassin is going to head towards the mid lane. We'll see if that is true or not. VP, on the other hand, they're going to be banning out all the hard lane heroes for paiN Gaming, as well as a Chen. Might as well throw the Chen out there. But Clockwork and Lone Druid, usually their assignment is down into the bottom lane, since paiN Gaming are on the Dire. Try to survive there. Or head to the top lane where they'll have an easier time surviving, and then put Phantom Lancer in an aggressive tri-lane with the Keeper of the Light. One more support here on top of that should do pretty well for them. We'll see what paiN Gaming actually want to pick up, because they do have some flexibility as to how they want to run this, if they want to go aggressive or not. PL Keeper is a very, very solid aggressive very solid makings of an aggressive tri-lane, but then again, they're going to have to go up against Gyrocopter at least, and Gyrocopter is incredibly strong in tri-lanes, and if Nyx is there, then it's also going to be even stronger, and then they're going to have to deal also with the Nature's Prophet, who is going to be there sometimes. And paiN Gaming, Oh yeah, gonna go with the Warlock. That ain't Dignitas. This is paiN Gaming right here. Warlock though, I'm not too sure. It could be played as a support Warlock. When Dignitas plays it, every time we've seen them do so, it has been a solo mid Warlock. The idea of that is to get as much experience onto the Warlock as possible, and then you get the faster level 6, you get a lot more of the Shadow Word, so that actually becomes a substantial nuke. It might force Batrider to a solo lane, in which case the last pickup from paiN Gaming will be a support. But Warlock is a hero that I hope more teams experiment with. I feel like there's a lot of potential with that hero if you could, find him the right situations to actually be useful. This game, the huge rock isn't going to be well. It's gonna be pretty good. They'll have the initiation from the Batrider, and a good amount of team fight is added through that rock. But really, there's nothing that's hugely working for it or against it. It's just going to be a regular ultimate. You don't get any additional bonuses by having like a Ravage or any black hole on top of that quite yet. You don't have the additional utility of being able to burn through a Lifestealer's magic immunity through that with that ultimate. So it is just going to be a plain old ultimate. We'll see if the Warlock is going to be support or mid. Looks like it's going to be a... Well, it could run either way still. paiN Gaming have a lot of lane flexibility with this lineup. And VP, their last two picks are going to be the Shadow Demon for the support, so it's going to be a Shadow Demon as well as Nyx Assassin as the support heroes for the Gyrocopter. And then that, of course, leaves the Storm Spirit as well as the Nature's Prophet to solo their lanes. The Storm Spirit, let's see, King RD is, yes, he is going to be playing the Warlock. King RD has been playing the mid lane for paiN Gaming, at least in all the games that I have been seeing. So he should be able to do decently. He has a lot of sustain as long as there's not much burst on the other end. And the burst will come from the Nyx Assassin when he eventually comes around. Nature's Prophet won't be very useful in killing out the Warlock just because what Nature's Prophet offers is just right-click damage, and that's where Shadow Word really shines, when you're constantly being right-clicked, and then you're going to constantly regain that health right back. So VP with their last pick, going to get a lot of initiation, but paiN, they have a giant amount of team fight. Their last two picks have some pretty good synergy with one another, especially if the bonds manage to land. Fatal bonds, there it is. Land that with the epicenter, and there is going to be paiN for days. And not only because that is their team name, but because epicenter with fatal bonds. Let's just actually go over some of that a little bit. Let's see how much damage per pulse. 110 damage per pulse. Okay, let's just say 110 damage, and you hit like 2 people with the fatal bonds. That's another 20%, 110, 22 extra damage per pulse per person. And if 2 people get hit by that, then it's going to be 44 damage per pulse. That's like a 50%, or let's say all 3 people get hit by that. Then it's like a 50% increase in damage from the epicenter. So if everything goes right, these 2 heroes alone can clean up VP easily, very, very easily. And on top of that, they have everyone else, the Batrider to ensure the initiation, Clots to clean up, and VP are going to have to be careful about that. However, they do have the type of team to actually fight that off, especially with this Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit is going to be integral, KSI as well, the Nyx Assassin. Both these 2 heroes can be very assassin-y, and that means that they get in with the Vendetta, with the Ball Lightning, kill the Sand King, kill the Warlock, and then wait for the rest of the team. So then from that point forward, it's just going to be a very simple 4v5. And then if they manage to snag the Sand King or Warlock, then that giant team combination really isn't going to be a threat. So VP are definitely equipped to deal with the team fight that paiN are bringing to bear. However, the question is that will VP be able to execute properly to actually kill off paiN's team fight, and will paiN be able to get their team fight together should the need call for it? So, let's actually figure out who these 2 people are out. Illidan Storm Rage. Illidan Storm... There we go. Be slower, Steam. Jesus. Come on. Well, we'll just go over everyone else first. Crazy's going to be playing that Storm Spirit, not surprisingly. I'm assuming Vampire is NS. It should be, but I still want to make sure. KSI is on the Nyx Assassin, Santa is on the Nature's Prophet, heading towards that hard lane eventually. Pata is going to be playing the Batrider for paiN Gaming. King RD is on the Warlock. Clot standing in, hard carrying once again. Billy on the Keeper Light, and Greentex is on the Sand King. Let's see, VP, it's going to be Airman. Okay, so we're going to have so far standard. I'm pretty sure this is going to be NS. I mean, I don't see why it would be anyone else. But just for the sake of 100%ness, yeah, this guy looks like NS to me. He is definitely NS. So NS is going to be playing that Shadow Demon. Nothing worse than being caught with the wrong hero. The wrong player. I mean, that's of course what I meant. But KSI playing support on the spot lane, along with NS, standard support lineup for VP. They're going to ensure that Airman is going to have all the farm in the world, and with paiN Gaming, the lineup that they have now, once they run an aggressive tri-lane, which it doesn't look like they're going to do, the bot lane is going to be fairly easy. paiN is most likely going to jungle. He has absolutely nothing on him. He's going to get level 1 bottle. So yeah, he is going to be a jungling Batrider. Gyrocopter is going to have no one in his lane. That means KSI is going to get all the pulls off. Possibly we'll see a little bit of aggression from NS, although there's not much early game kill potential from VP, just because Storm Spirit doesn't offer all that much until he gets his ball lightning. Even though Disruption is some pretty good setup, it's not really enough setup, especially against King RD, who's already picked up 1 point in that Shadow Word. NS is going to hang around for the mid lane just a little bit, although he might look to stack the mid lane. Santa has foregone the top lane, so Claws with the double damage rune is going to get a free lane there as well. Billy and Green Tex both going to do support action, so looks like the hard lanes are being completely skipped, which nowadays it's not that uncommon. In TI2 or whatever, you would constantly see heroes go to that hard lane and try to rough it out, but nowadays it's fairly common for teams to just abandon it just because it's so hard to hold down. You really need the correct heroes to do so. And those correct heroes, it's even though they might be the quote-unquote correct heroes, Darkseer, Bounty Hunter, they're still incredibly risky. If things don't go your way on that lane, then they are pretty much dead weights. So, for the first couple of minutes, I expect to see a fairly passive game with paiN Gaming. Their kill potential on this top lane is Green Tech as well as Billy. They're burning mana for some reason, not sure why. I guess they really want these Hellbears dead. Oh, that's a shame. That's something I would do, Green Text. So I kind of, I understand. But the kill potential coming from paiN is not going to happen until a little bit later. The Batrider needs his levels, and a jungling Batrider is a decent jungle. I'd say the Nature's Prophet is a little bit better. He's picked up Ring of Basilius as well as a Clarity, so he's going full on jungle. Never expected to go into that lane. Nature's Prophet will get a decent amount of farm, but really the Batrider needs his level 6. Once that happens, then the aggression will flow from him. Same thing from Crazy, same thing kind of from King RD. So really all this kill potential, nothing's going to happen until these players get to level 6. Then the big ultimates are going to come up, then the initiations will start to happen, especially from KSI as well. Will be one of the integral ganking parties from VP, and paiN cutting it a little bit close, don't you think? Does have a bottle from level 1, so he's going to be able to jungle just fine. Still taking a lot of damage from those centaurs. They do not mess around, those centaurs. Especially when there's like centaurs and Hellbears, because they're like best buds, everyone knows that. Teleportation on this mid lane. King RD got jumped by an invisibility rune from NS. Santa's going to teleport in here. Doesn't have any sprout, however. The slow from the Storm Spirit will be enough. King RD is fairly tanky, and he will get sprouted just before he reaches the safety of his tower. And Santa, with that teleportation, is going to draw first blood on this mid lane. Unfortunately for the Warlock, decided to use his Shadow Word on Crazy instead of healing himself. And he also did not have any tangos. I believe he only took 1 salve, or 2 salves or whatever. He didn't have any tangos, that's the point I'm trying to make, so he couldn't eat through those trees, and if he had the heal, I feel like he would have had a little bit of a better shot to survive that. He was just worked down in the end by right clicks. And level 2 Shadow Word, I'm sorry. How much did it do? 9? I thought it healed for less. Why, whatever, 9 times 25. Let's see if I can do more math while I'm casting this game and not miss anything. That's 225 healing. That would have definitely been enough if he didn't cast it on Crazy. And Crazy is running the Bottle Crow, so it really is damage that's not even going to stick. But at the same time, very good timing for VP. The Shadow Word was cast before the disruption, so that means the NS saw, hey, this guy is not going to have any spells available to him. Let's go right now. He doesn't have his heal. That's another 200 HP that the Warlock is not going to have. Crazy is going to help Santa just clear off these creeps. Santa and Crazy, they don't really care who gets the farm necessarily. It's all about getting the Storm Spirit more levels. In the meantime, NS is holding down the mid lane. The Warlock can't really do anything to bully the Shadow Demon out of the lane. He does have some pretty high base damage, this Warlock, and the Shadow Word is level 3. But NS is going to find some free time to get a little bit of experience onto this lane. I do like this move because Crazy, while he has made that movement down to the bot lane as well as to the jungle, hasn't lost all that much. Even though he was involved in the kill, Warlock has now outstripped him. As far as the gold is experience is concerned, the Storm Spirit is going to be able to make that up. And combine that with the fact that Storm Spirit was with NS for a great portion of the early game, means that Crazy isn't really that far behind. Burst Strike onto NS though, getting caught at a little bit out of position. The Illuminate is going to hit him pretty well. Also, Green Text with the right clicks, combined with Warlocks, is going to get the kill onto the Shadow Demon, just a little bit out of position, and paiN with rotation of the supports down from the top lane is going to get themselves a free Shadow Demon kill. And wow, that is some suave pulling from the Keeper of the Light. Just fire off one blast, do a little bit of damage. How much damage? 70 damage, but now they have a giant stack of ogres. What are the friggin' chances of this? I actually really want to see these guys die, and it's all going to be Billy's gold. It's going to take quite a while, but level 2 on the Chakra Magic means that he could sit here and do this all day. Illuminate also, only level 1, but he'll be able to level that up after he clears that stacked up camp. Rotation from Green Text on this mid lane now. He's going to have to worry about NS. Although, unless NS is going to be the one getting Bro Struck. There's the Bro Strike onto no one. That was beautiful. You could just click them, you know. Like, when you're that close, you could just go ahead and click the Storm Spirit with the Burrow Strike. You won't miss. You definitely won't miss. But, I guess they just wanted to posture and make sure that the Warlock remains safe. Warlock also does have the Chaotic offering up. Sand King only level 3, so the giant AoE combination team fight won't come for quite a while. However, once it does, it's going to be very devastating. Let's see how much gold pot I guess from this. 800 Gs and up to 1,000 Gs. Not bad, those ogres giving up a lot of dough. Billy, though, still hurting on the levels, as is Green Text. Let's take a look at how the supports from VP are doing. Level 3 on the Shadow Demon. Actually didn't get too much from that mid lane. Level 4 is up on KSI, so he's slowly working towards his level 6 mark. Meantime, we have Airman on this bot lane, just farming, having this standard Gyrocopter build for a hard farmer, that is. 1,200 gold on him. We'll see what he wants to do with this, but he's been pushing down the bot lane pretty aggressively. It's kind of a side effect of picking up so many points of flat cannon, or really picking up flat cannon in general. If you're going to be pushing the bot lane, there's nothing that the enemy could really do about it except for push harder. But the flat cannon combined with KSI rotating in is going to mean that Airman gets a tower for his team. So VP 2 for 1, 1 tower up as well. Take an early advantage in this game, but not by much. It's really not noticeable at all. Level 6 up on the Storm Spirit, level 6 up on the Warlock. So Crazy can now look to make stuff happen. However, he's going to have to worry about the Smoke Gang coming in. The Shadow Demon, Shadow Demon is around to support the Storm Spirit. So if the Burrow Strike does fly through, the instant disruption will save Crazy from a lot of damage. But the Burrow Strike and Illuminate does combo up. Crazy is going to get a rock dropped on his head. Burrow Strike is not going to hit in time. That Illuminate was dodged by Crazy. Because of that Illuminate, he's going to use his ball lane to get on out of there. KSI teleporting in, going to get the Impale onto all 3 of them. Green Tech's taking a lot of damage. He's going to drop to one more right click. KSI is in the middle of everything. His Fatal bonds it up. Crazy still in the back end. And KSI is going to live at 16 HP. The Fatal bonds, there's nothing else to chain him together to anything. And Billy is going to get killed by Tame My Wild. Crazy. Keeper of the Light staying in the tower range for a little bit too long, and that's the power of the Shadow Demon. That is why teams pick him up, because if that Illuminate hit, then Crazy would have definitely died. He really stood no chance. The long range initiation from paiN from that Warlock Golem combined with the Burrow Strike just would have been enough to set up for a kill if the Keeper of the Light had that Illuminate. Although Illuminate not level 2, only level 1 with that Illuminate, and took 1 point of Mana Leak actually. I guess you want to get that Mana Leak for Storm Spirit, although Mana Leak is kind of a lackluster spell at the early levels. 1.3 stun duration, I mean, it's kind of nice, but I don't know if that's actually worth. The Illuminate definitely does a lot more damage up front, and even during that stun duration, you could probably do more damage if you just picked up that extra point of Illuminate, channel that for a little bit longer. That's a lot more magic damage. It's very, very easy to hit, and it also helps you clear the jungle, which Billy has been doing for quite a while now. Is kind of struggling to do so because of that only 1 level of that Illuminate. So he's probably going to pick up Illuminate at level 5, level 2 Chakra, level 2 Illuminate. If you keep the levels even, you should usually be fine, unless you're really spamming everything out really hard. Keep it light, going for a little bit of a weird build. The Mana Leak is purely for a Crazy, who's going to be burning through his own mana. But Crazy does have a regeneration rune, so we could go turbo mode onto King RD. He knows that the Warlock Golem's cooldown is astronomically huge, so Crazy can make something happen, especially if NS lands something to set up. Santa could teleport in. Wrath of Nature is up on him as well as a Hand of Midas. So Santa is finding the farm. 101 on him, 29 CS now. Keep in mind that most of those are neutrals, so it doesn't really mean all that much as far as his gold per minute is concerned. There's a zip in from Crazy. He's going to open up onto King RD. The curse is going to land as well. The damage should be enough to kill off the Warlock. It is. Green Tech's going to get a two-man Burrow Strike. Does have the Sandstorm up, but the Sentry Ward down in the lower river is going to mean that the Sand King is not going to be protected from that at all. And Tame My Wild Crazy gets a double kill. Maybe I'll just call him Tame My Wild from now on. I don't know. That's what TMW stands for, but he's been known as Crazy before. That's 2 points of Illuminate. That's going to fly on through. Push back Crazy as well as the rest of the push from Virtus Pro. But still the tower gets dropped to less than half HP. Let's see how Klotz is actually doing this top lane. Has gone for a Hand of Midas. So he's really investing for the late game, even though his team, they kind of need him soon, I feel. The advantage that VP has is just going to continue to snowball. Crazy going to dive deep for Billy. There's the lasso, though, not long enough on that ball lightning. Crazy should be fine to get out of here, however. Mana is completely out, and there's the stun from the Mana Leak. Maybe that was all worth it in the end. The ball lightning from Crazy trying to get out of here, bottling up. There's the call down, going to save Crazy, just barely 17 HP. Pata on the run. He's going to have a missile hit him very shortly, and that missile will kill him off. No, bottling up, actually, but he's going to run straight into a Shadow Demon as well as an Assassin. I don't like your chances here, Batrider. He is going to die, and no one from VP is going to die this day. They somehow get the Storm Spirit out again at, like, 1 pixel of HP. And paiN, unfortunately, just the ganks aren't working out for them. That lasso, you couldn't really ask for a better one. He just brought him right into the tower, and that just wasn't enough. There's the rock being dropped onto NS. Burrow Strike through. This should be the death of the Shadow Demon. He's going to self-destruct himself. He does have 3 stacks of his magic stick, but there's a zip in from Crazy. Green Text is still on the run, going to break the Sandstorm immediately. He is going to drop, but Shadow Demon has already died. A 1-for-1 trade. I guess paiN really need those trades because they got the Shadow Demon kill, who's a higher level, so you get more from that. But of course, without that guaranteed stun now from the Sand King, means that the push is going to be a little bit easier for VP. The Tornado is going to spot everyone out, and Crazy in the back end is also going to be spotting King RD. But as long as Billy's here, level 2 Illuminate should be enough to hold down that lane. So all the 4-1 strategy playing out for both teams. Phantom Lancer getting a decent amount of farm, 86 for 10 on him, has now surpassed the Gyrocopter, kind of unsurprisingly, in the gold per minute chart because of that Hand of Midas, really helping out as far as that goes. Gyro, though, is going straight for Helm of the Dominator. It's kind of a similar farming item for the Gyrocopter. It's very Battle Fury-esque, but Crazy in the mid lane is going to get initiated upon one more time. This time he is not going to have enough time to get away. The Burrow Strike as well as the lasso, enough to lock down Storm Spirit and actually kill him off. So paiN finding a couple picks here and there, using the ultimates to get it done. That has brought Green Text up to that level 6 mark. What is the Fatal Bonds at? 4 people with that 20% damage split. King RD has a long way to go until his ultimate is back up online, but Green Text is at level 6, as is KSI, however. And he can get an instant pick onto Billy, or even Green Text. There's the Impale actually going to go for Pata straight away. Is he going to get enough damage onto him? The Shadow Word will be enough. He is going to survive. Illuminate Blast is going to hit well into Santa as well as to NS, but Green Text trying to get out of there, not going to look to channel an Epicenter. Klotz even joining in on the party just a little bit. I don't think he actually got any nukes out. Crazy is in the area, is looking to jump in as well. But in the meantime, it's all about buying Airman a little bit more room. Helm of the Dominator to keep him alive while he farms Ancients, while he farms the hard camps, and he's just constantly pushing down this bot lane. He's going to head straight towards his BKB, it looks like. And against the, well, BKB is not going to be the most useful. Batrider could still get the Blink Lasso in, and the Warlock Golem will still go, the stun at least, will still go through that BKB. But he's still farming up a Storm down here, so money is money, and it's definitely going to help him. Crazy is going to go for a Orchid, it looks like. You pick off these soft support heroes from paiN. Really, paiN lack the hero that's generally tanky. They lack a life stealer or something like that. VP kind of the same way, and paiN, they have been really showing that they can make use of that fact. Just with the ganks onto Crazy, or the attempts at ganks on Crazy, stuff like that. Klotz now in a lot of trouble, however, because KSI is hunting him down. There he is. He knows that he's around, and that should be enough. Klotz is going to run away. Oh, there it is. Get him. No more vision. There's a second sentry ward, and this Impale is going to land, but Klotz has his drum, and he's going to be just fine. Unfortunately, KSI lost sight of which one was actually real, and that means Klotz is actually going to turn around for another engagement, going to get that stun from the Spike Carapace. The KSI is going to get a rock dropped on him. Only one man in that. There's the last one to Santa. He's instantly Demonic Purge. KSI on the run, out of mana as well. Should drop in no time. NS as well as Santa just trying to make their way out. The invisibility room from the Batrider making a wall that's kind of going to hurt, but it's only level 2. Santa as well as NS still here. Crazy has arrived as well. Green Tech's looking for another Burrow Strike. Not going to happen. It is maxed out, so the range is there. But everyone from VP already abandoned that area. Nyx Assassin gets picked off. The failed gank attempt onto the PL leads to a death in Nyx Assassin. Not exactly the best situation for VP. However, they still do have the advantage, and they're going to even kill a Warlock Golem right now, who's going to try to hide in the trees, but that's another 100 gold in the end, going for the Gyrocopter. paiN have been using this Warlock Golem so far only on one person. But whenever they do use that Warlock Golem, it usually does mean a kill, except for, I guess, the first time. If you keep doing that, then you don't really have to save this Chaotic Offering for the Giant team fight. Just because every time you pick someone off, you delay the Giant team fight. But soon we're going to have to see this Warlock drop the Golem on more than one person. Look to really get team fights off instead of just ganks, instead of small skirmishes. By the time that happens, the Gyrocopter will have his BKB up. Combine that with Lifesteal, he has some pretty good damage. Not the most attack speed right now because he doesn't have a single attack speed item. He's getting messed up by these Ancients. But the team fight will be very strong for paiN for just that small window of opportunity. But again, we're going to have to look for the likes of KSI as well as Crazy to really deny them that team fight opportunity. Assassin only has the Arcane Boots. Blink Dagger is going to be a very long ways away for him. After taking a look at how Santa's doing, Mech is already up on him. Warlock has just picked his Mech up as well, but a Hand of Midas on the Nature's Prophet combined with having a level advantage. Nature's Prophet doing very, very well for himself. The, I guess, counter hard lane hero, Pada, who's been jungling. That Batrider kind of taking the same role as the Nature's Prophet as far as farming goes. Only as a Blink Dagger, although that will be enough to initiate onto Crazy. Going to bring him down to the low ground. The Ball Lightning will not be enough because the Burrow Strike is instantly there. The Ball Lightning, though, will make him escape in the end. Is trying to bottle up, but the Fatal Bonds is onto something. He's taking a lot of damage, though. He is going to pop in the end. paiN Gaming have lost one in exchange for the Destroying Spear. Billy trapped in the tree, and it's a beautiful block from the Nature's Prophet. That's going to be a second kill. Burrow Strike onto the Gyrocopter. BKB already used. The Epicenter is going to hit very hard on this Gyro. KSI even topping a little bit of that damage as well. The Rocket Barrage on level 1 going to force Green Tech's back, although the Flame Break is going to kill off that Gyrocopter. KSI trying to get the final kill onto that Sand King, but it's not going to be enough. Slowed down by 3 stacks of tar. Impale attempt on the high ground. It's not going to be enough. Green Tech's going to turn around for a humiliation kill. And that is going to be a fairly good trade for paiN. And they did get a couple kills there, and VP, they've lost their most important hero, the Gyrocopter. They also lost the Nyx Assassin. And although Crazy got out of there once more, I believe, that would have been super optimal for paiN. They're going to take it. They're completely fine with that. So they're looking pretty good for this game. The gold and experience should be dipping down towards them in just a little bit. However, with the farm that the Gyrocopter is getting, combined with the earlier Hand of Midas and Nature's Prophet, they're really holding strong onto that advantage. However, keep in mind that paiN last fight did not have that Chaotic Offering. There really wasn't a good time for it. Even if they did have it, everyone from VP was kind of separated. It was a really, really split off fight, so the Chaotic Offering not the most useful there, but still would have helped. And there's a teleportation now onto King RD. Sprout is going to land from Santa. No way to bust through those trees unless he wants to drop his ultimate. There's the ultimate. The missile is still flying. However, the double cooldown is going to hit on King RD. Green Deck's going to come right in, however. Just the presence of that Sand King forcing both VP members back to their tier 1 tower. And paiN can actually look to make something happen. Batrider still has not been spotted, and he's going to go all the way around, although everyone from VP has already fallen back, and Nature's Prophet going to fall back even more, going to this top lane. So everyone is going to successfully get out of there. We do see a gem up on the Shadow Demon. It's going to be very useful against both Klotz as well as the Sand King. Now Klotz got to be a little bit careful there. A little bit careful. Shadow Demon counter versus the Phantom Lancer will start to stack up right now because the Diffusal Blade has been picked up. KSI can open up with the Impale, not looking to get any Vendetta damage. Klotz completely out of mana, and the damage though just isn't there. No one's actually attacking him. Klotz just going to walk right on out of there. That Vendetta hit would have been a kill. 250 bonus damage plus 70. Yeah, it would have been close.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Klutz gets out of there just barely. This Airman going for a 1v4 with the help of a double damage Crazy. He's going to try to kill off the Keeper of Light. He's going to live at 200 HP. Crazy still looking for this kill. Does have quite a bit more mana. But he's going to burn the rest of that mana to get out of there. Gyrocopter without his ultimate, without his BKB. Not willing to fight a 2v4. Meantime, however, VP, those two heroes just been occupying paiN's time. That buys time for Santa, KSI, as well as NS to clear out the top lane tier 1 tower. So paiN getting pressured really, really intensely by the Storm Spirit. Granted, he did have that double damage rune, but it's really hard to land a beat on the Storm Spirit when he is zipping around like that, and when he's doing so much damage as well. So VP still holding on to a lead, it would seem, especially after that tower. paiN, they need to get a little bit more farm on this Phantom Lancer, and he's getting the farm. So if this game lasts long enough, then PL is going to get really big. The problem with that is that the Shadow Demon is also maxing out his disruption. So every single time Phantom Lancer picks up a really big item, it's going to be turned around against him. The Diffusal Blade perhaps is the most important thing, because of course all Phantom Lancer illusions, even unfriendly Phantom Lancer illusions, they will burn your mana. And against Phantom Lancer, it's not that big a deal. His Spirit Lance is nice to spam out, but it's not exactly a necessity. Also because he's not going to get hit much by the illusions, ideally at least. He's going to be far away from that, but the likes of Green Tech Sand King is going to have to rely on the mana. His mana pool's decent with the Arcane Boots, actually, so he shouldn't be worried too much, but paiN, if they have a lot of heroes that are really reliant on those big ultimates, and if you could burn their mana out before those ultimates come down, they're in a lot of trouble. There's initiation onto the Gyrocopter, pulling him back into the epicenter, but the instant BKB completely wastes that epicenter. A little bit of a misplay from paiN Gaming. Everyone from paiN is just going to fall back, and KSI going to get a 2-man in that Impale. The mech does pop off, saving Green Tex at least for a moment. There's the Fatal Bonds as well as that Chaotic Offering being dropped down. Green Tex on his way out. The missile is going to chase him down. Demonic Purge will cast on someone else, but already VP have cleaned up too. In exchange for Santa Klutz, though, is on the warpath with that lance. He's going to spam it down, kill off one. Is he going to go for another? KSI is out of mana, and Airman is not doing too well himself. So in the end, it still is a trade that favors paiN Gaming. Their Phantom Lancer picked up a kill, is still alive, and he's doing very, very well for himself. He's heading to his heart very, very quickly. And Gyro, where is his farm? 2,300 gold. The Helm of the Dominator not really doing all that much for him right now because he doesn't have the attack speed to really make that item useful. It doesn't really matter how hard you hit if you never hit them. So VP, they're starting to slip just a little bit. That fight definitely didn't go well for them. The giant chaotic offering plus the mechanism really helping out paiN Gaming in that last fight, even though the epicenter was completely wasted. I don't know even why Green Tex decided to go for that, because he knows that the BKB is up on Gyrocopter, and epicenter doesn't go through BKB at all. So not sure what that was all about. However, yeah, despite that, paiN Gaming, they are still slightly behind, although they're still fighting, so good on them. VP, what is the Gyrocopter looking at? He does have a Demon Edge up. So that's going to be the damage to try to cut through the PL, but the PL, I feel, is going to get the heart at around the same time as the MKB, I guess. Try to get rid of that blinding light of the Gyrocopter. So, you know, by that time, the Phantom Lancer is definitely going to be the most scary hero on the map. It's already the most scary hero on the map. What is the... I can never remember why. Why is net worth? It says right there. Why net worth? Not surprisingly, Phantom Lancer does have the most, having both the Hand of Midas as well as a safe lane to farm for the majority of the game. He's going to be really scary, and eventually we're going to have to see NS start to make replicates of the Phantom Lancer. And, well, right now, even, I'd say that is the most valuable thing to do. You get very, very tanky illusions with that extra Vit booster, plus the Drum of Endurance, and on top of that, they burn mana. What more could you want out of one simple cast of Disruption? And then they'll make armies for you. That's also pretty darn cool. 23 minutes into the game. This game is looking fairly even so far. VP continuing to farm up their Gyrocopter. Really needs to get some sort of attack speed, I feel, if he wants to make good of this early Helm of the Dominator. There's been no ancient stacking, which is kind of uncharacteristic of VP. There's been one or two that we actually were watching Gyrocopter clear that out a little bit ago. With the likes of the Nature's Prophet as well as the Shadow Demon, you expect at least one of them to be stacking that up. There's the initiation attempt. It's going to be Pada, already popping out that Firefly. KSI going to go right into the front lines. He looks like he wants to get initiated upon. Nature's Prophet ultimate bouncing through, already softening up paiN Gaming just a little bit. Shadow Word is going to keep the Keeper of the Light very, very healthy. Crazy, taking a lot of damage from that Firefly. It's not exactly something I would recommend standing in, so probably shouldn't do that. There's the Demonic Purge onto King RD. He does have the rock up, however, the cooldown is going to come down and instantly killing off the Warlock. Didn't cast his ultimate. Pada now is going to get pulled in by Crazy. Slow down on Green Text as well. The Burst Strike from Green Text will allow him safe passage out. One more hit. No, that's going to kill him. Gyrocopter using that flat cannon to great use. And another Impale from the Nyx Assassin is going to kill off the Keeper of the Light. And everyone dies from paiN except for the Phantom Lancer. Very, very well done fight from VP. Does Demonic Purge actually kill the Warlock Golem? I think it might. It's a Purge. And Purges do kill Warlock Golems. I don't know. That might be a good counter. We'll see. I hope he casts it, because he hasn't been. But yeah, paiN with that initiation onto Warlock, he could have dropped the ultimate onto 4 or 5. That would have bought time for Sand King to try to get a Burrow Strike. Although just the initiation from VP using the Demonic Purge of all things to open up that fight, something you don't really see all that much. But its cast range is pretty decent, and Warlock was very, very out of position. Combining that up with Crazy, who just went nuts all over paiN Gaming, using that Ball Lightning plus the Orchid, shut down so many heroes. And then the final kill from Nyx Assassin, just the cherry on the cake. But paiN Gaming, through that bad team fight, they know that they are stronger right now. That means, well, mostly because VP, they burned a lot to do that engagement. Now they're spread out all around the map. They know that Airman's still in this bottom lane, and more importantly, that paiN, they have all their ultimates up. They didn't spend anything for that last engagement because it was just them dying. So they feel comfortable enough trying to bring down that tier 1 tower, and they do so successfully. Teleportation now onto this bottom lane. Looks like they're just trying to make enough space to get the Roshan. And it is going to be opened up right now. They don't have the best Roshan killing. Phantom Lancer does have a heart, so he's going to be able to tank that. The damage really isn't going to be there. So this is going to take quite a while. And VP, they should be aware of this shortly. Yeah, the Treant is going to move right in, spot the haste rune as well. But everything and a Midas denied. But they do know that the Roshan is being attempted from paiN. However, paiN, they really don't have the potential to kill down this Roshan really quickly. Phantom Lancer is good and everything. He has some good, solid right clicks. But without those illusions, then Phantom Lancer's DPS is cut substantially. So it's going to be a very, very slow Roshan. Airman on this top lane doesn't actually have a TP on him. So it looks like VP are going to be completely okay with letting this Phantom Lancer get a double life. That could be a very, very dangerous decision. However, paiN Gaming still, well, they now know that they're completely spotted out. Mech is going to pop off. And the Roshan is slowly going to drop. The tier 2 tower has dropped before that, however. KSI now with that Vendetta. Looks like he wants to get a pick off as the enemy team leaves the Roshan pit. It's going to be incredibly difficult though. Green Text is going to teleport on out of there. KSI though still on the hunt. Does find a courier though. The courier slipped away from him just before he could catch up to it. Does find Billy. He's in the neighborhood. And that KSI going to fall back. Doesn't know about the central ward coverage. And Billy is now spotted out. The stun could fly through. It does. You can't actually get a kill. Pada going to blink straight in. Santa's going to teleport in as well as Crazy. They're going to kill off Billy. And KSI with that Spike Carapace does get Force-Staffed out of there safely. So in the end, it is a clean kill onto this Keeper of the Light. And looks like, oh, another Demonic Purge onto King RD. Disruption's going to follow through as well. Green Text, though, going to cast that Epicenter, get a very good Epicenter onto 4, but it's not enough damage. Only level 1. That's going to be 2 more down from paiN. Crazy getting a double kill with that one. And Sand King with he's very close to that level 2 Epicenter, and that would have been very devastating. KSI, though, might drop to this Phantom Lancer. Spike Carapace will save him, plus that Vendetta. He's going to get Force-Staffed out of there. He's going to hang around for just a little bit, but I think he should fall back, because the rest of his team could take this tier 2 tower, as they do right then. So VP, they give the Aegis to the Phantom Lancer, but clean out the rest of the tier 2 towers from paiN. I'm not sure if it's worth it, because this Phantom Lancer could do a ton of damage. However, so far in the fights, Phantom Lancer hasn't really been doing all that much. He's mostly been on the sidelines. The Illusion Army hasn't really been that big, and holy crap, this is what I missed. Airman going big with that Divine Rapier. Divine Rapier, Helm of the Dominator. He would really like to have that Aegis, but now he's got to be incredibly careful. Because paiN Gaming, they know that this Gyrocopter is packing this item. And that means that the Warlock Golem is going to make sure to hold on to his stun until he could get it on the Gyrocopter. Anyone else is great, but really, if you stun the Gyrocopter, then the Bat Rider could also look for that same engagement. Or he could be the one opening up. Doesn't really have to be one after another like that. But Bat Rider is going to be targeting the Gyrocopter 100%, even though he probably was already. So VP, it's going to be all about protecting this Gyrocopter. And with the disruption, they will be able to save him for just a little bit, but other than that, they don't really have all that much besides the mech to keep this gyrocopter alive. So straight push is going to be the order of the day. Airman leading the way. Oh no, it's a gank on the bottom lane. Zip in from Crazy, going to open up onto King RD. The mech is going to buy him a little bit of HP, but it's not going to be enough in the end. Blinding Light going to save him, but the BKB does get popped off, and there's the Rock Golem being dropped. Zenas taking a lot of damage. He's going to drop to the Bat Rider. Crazy though, still very healthy, and Santa as well as Airman both arrive into this fight, shredding down the rest of paiN's heroes. Klotz as well as Green Tech get on out of there. Mid lane is the viable push opportunity. Two up, for paiN and Klotz. He does have the damage, he does have the survivability, but VP, they're just ignoring him. They're just going for the rest of his team. And it is working out. The damage from this gyrocopter really helping out with that fact. Now there's Zip in. Klotz is silenced. Can they kill him before he gets the doppel walk off? It's going to be incredibly close. The Rocket Barrage is going to be enough. Klotz is trying to fight his way out, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to drop the Aegis, and Sand King also dies as well. Airman can get pushed back because they know that Klotz is still very dangerous, but a free Aegis pickoff. Keeper Delight as well as Warlock, though, are revived right now. So the blasts are going to fly through. The Fatal Bonds are going to be casted as well. So this push from VP probably not going to lead to many places. But regardless, the gyrocopter, as well as the rest of his team, doing enough damage to kill off the Phantom Lancer, bringing off that Aegis. Phantom Lancer now is a little bit more vulnerable, although really it's going to be Airman who has to play extremely carefully. Let's see if he goes for a Butterfly or a Satanic. Probably going to be the Satanic, I want to say. Yes, it is. You need that HP because, well, essentially the Satanic is a cheese, kind of. You pop that off, and as long as you don't get stunned, which he shouldn't get stunned if he uses that BKB properly, then it's going to be pretty much a full heal for the gyrocopter. It's going to take a couple hits, but regardless, it's going to completely fill up his life points, especially with the damage that he has from that Divine Rapier. So 23-11, paiN are looking to be in a very dangerous situation. However, because of that Divine Rapier pickup from the gyrocopter, that means this game, even though the advantage in gold as well as experience show a vast advantage for VP, it means the game could swing the other way in a matter of seconds. If paiN find a good team fight, if they kill off the gyrocopter, take his Divine Rapier, then VP, it doesn't matter how much gold the graph says they're ahead, because the damage is going to flow the other way, and VP are going to have to worry about a Phantom Lancer with a heart, with a Mant style soon, and then a Divine Rapier. So VP playing it extraordinarily risky with this early pick of a Divine Rapier, so they're looking to end the game right now. It looks like they're going to have to push against the Keeper of the Light Blast, and that is always very, very troublesome to do. Goodbye, Creep Wave. Kaboom, baby. Huge damage onto everyone. KSI, did he actually return any of that? No, he didn't. Cast it a little bit too late. Pushing straight up against that is going to be incredibly difficult. Disruption onto the Phantom Lancer, and now we're going to see PL versus PL. Who's going to win this one? I have no idea because there's no way to determine whose is whose, but it looks like VP, they're going to have a couple of Phantom Lancers wreaking havoc among the paiN base. They're even just going to slow siege up that tower. Disruption finally being used on those PL illusions. There's a blink in from Pata though. They want to get this gyrocopter dead because of that Divine Rapier. BKB popped off, so there's no damage for him. Airman is going to take a lot of damage over. The rock does get dropped on him. The Divine Rapier is in no trouble of actually dropping because of the damage from Illidan's Storm Rage here. Just as you would expect from Illidan, cleaning up everyone, doesn't give a crap. Get lassoed in, drop down the call down, and then just flat cannon and kill everyone off. Everyone from paiN Gaming are very, very soft. And the the Golem didn't really last long at all. They threw everything that they had onto this gyrocopter. Epicenter's still up, but it just really wasn't an opportunity to do that. If he tried to channel the Epicenter, it would have been his death. The flat cannon hits would have been enough to kill off the SK pretty much immediately. And now with only him and Keeper of the Light to survive, they're going to lose one set of Raxes, and it looks like it's going to be a second. Airman still with the damage is going to tear down those Raxes, and yeah, there it goes. GG is the call. King RD has had enough. So really this game was just slow incremental advantage gain for VP, taking a beneficial fight after beneficial fight. And in the end, this Phantom Lancer really didn't do that much. His impact in the game was kind of stymied by the fact that Gyrocopter got such a fast Divine Rapier. Even if you do have a heart, it's not really going to save your illusions from that Divine Rapier. If Gyrocopter went for something like an MKB into Butterfly, then it would have been a little bit better for the Phantom Lancer, because the damage wouldn't have been so bursty. His illusions would have had more time to stay alive, which meant that they would have had more time to copy themselves. But such a straightforward damage item in the Divine Rapier means that the PL Illusions don't have a chance to do so. That means that BP is going to take game number 1. Very, very risky from them with that early Divine Rapier. What was it, like 25 minutes into the game? But regardless, it is going to put them up 1-0 over paiN Gaming. We're going to move straight on to game number 2, guys. Thanks for watching. GG.